could have been fed information that was totally not true at all.
People get a radio broadcast that sounds like Joe Biden, but it's a deep fake. Gives even bias the enemy, like that kind of stuff.
They're making it overcomplicated. It's a race war. In a race war, you can't take your skin off. You can paint it. You can try. What they're talking with the malls, Boko Haram against Western education. Boko Haram, like they kidnap fucking schoolgirls. This is Boko Haram.
What's the most powerful weapon someone could have? And they're like, I don't know, nuke? No, a radio. The ability to coordinate in real time at the speed of light is
I was thinking this 2 nights ago.
Hamburger Mountain. I just want.
Okay, I was on the
Go ahead.
The radio. Radio is like the most powerful technology on Earth. I mean, it is.
What was the Japanese one that used to broadcast during World War II? Rose.
I don't know.
Dude, the radio changed everything.
I was like, in reading about Civil War battles and stuff, and American Revolutionary War fights, it's like, that's why they had trumpets.
Tokyo Rose.
There you go.
The reason why they had drums, the reason why they had trumpets, it was battlefield communications. You knew certain sounds meant certain moves. But now you have radio.
Yeah, instantaneous long-range communication. Radio, altered reality and such broadcast towering. It just, things, after 04 or whatever Tesla popped out, there were other people working on it too. There was an Italian guy working on it.
Yeah, but TV killed the radio.
It definitely is better, but radio is the basic function, it's the basic groundbreaking.
I miss AM radio because that would be like the farmers type of stuff. It would just be for your local distance. Now we want to listen to everything everywhere.
What is that, high altitude?
I don't know, but it works.
Yeah, crazy.
And you know what? I want to tell you, Tim, about Civilization, the game. When you develop that technology in the game, Sid Meier had it right. It changes everything. You get the broadcast tower, and you get battleships, the ability to communicate with your ships across the ocean. Dude, you just cannot compete with real-time communication.
Yeah, I 10 guys with the same weapons as 100 guys could win.
How many radios do they have? Are they getting contradictory information?
Instant communication as they're saying next to each other, because you can coordinate so much faster. It's ridiculous. That metric I just made up, I'm just saying hypothetically, communications gives you such a tremendous advantage over your opponent who can't coordinate. You're running circles around.
Well, it's the main weapon. Social media, a lot of just the videos and the audio and the article. They're a lot more.
And Flight of the Valkyries was based on a real attempt to assassinate Hitler. And because he had a bunker, he's so paranoid. They had a concrete bunker underground with airtight doors and stuff. And so if they're going to set the bomb off, and because they're in a closed environment, the concussion blast, they figured it'd kill everybody there. But they did it. But they had decided to have it out in a just like a normal room with windows, so it blew all the windows out and stuff. These guys are in a fucking bunker.
Communication tech is the most powerful war technologies because people don't want to fight. They want to end the conflict as fast as possible, so they're waiting for orders to figure out how to do it. And if you get the wrong orders, you're going to do what you got to do to end the conflict. If you do the wrong thing, that's the most devastating outcome. That's I didn't think, I just built just now, that's pretty deep, dude. People do not want, they want to end the conflict. It's just same with when if you're being attacked at night, it's not about what you do if you're being attacked. It's not kill. It's stop the threat. That is what it's, get as far away from it or whatever.
Let's jump to this story from Newsweek. Elon Musk's mom rushes to his defense. She is furious with Joe Biden. Well, the real story is that Joe Biden is targeting Elon Musk. The deep state is targeting Elon Musk. And now, Elon's mom is calling out Joe Biden, saying, I am the mother of Elon Musk. His goal is to make this world a better place. POTUS wants to stop him. Have you any idea how furious I am? People in other countries are proud of Elon and do not understand the U.S. president's motive. Please tell me how I should answer them.
That's the best mom tweet ever.
President Biden stood at the White House podium and stated Elon Musk is worth being looked at. When asked how, he said there's lots of things. There certainly are. DOJ, FAA, FTC, NLRB, SDNY, and FWS have all taken action. The FCC now joins them. It is obvious that the federal government is illegally and unconstitutionally targeting Elon Musk over his political actions.
Who's bringing for FCC? Who is that?
He's, I don't know if he's the former. Let me pull him up. He might be the head of the FCC. He is the commissioner for the FCC.
Oh, my comment was the trans agenda, like because the queers don't want to fight. They're lovers. They want their drugs and they want their orgies. They want their never-ending party.
Yeah.
They want to do their drugs and they want to have fun. Well, they prefer women. Because it's like as long as the breeding, as long as the womb is reserved for the black master.
But that's incredible thuggery from our government. We are full on Soviet style.
He writes, I dissent.
authoritarians. Oh, he did, sorry, he
Yeah.
dissent. Okay, good.
He says the FCC adds itself to the growing list of federal agencies engaging in regulatory harassment of Elon Musk. I dissent.
Good for him.
Man.
But now he says that FCC is going to investigate it, though.
And he says he's dissenting to it. This guy's all about the mind
one
of
power made on the board or whatever it is.
or whatever it might be, but they're going after it. And this is why Elon's going to double down. They declared war on a guy with means. Why is Alex Jones back? Because they kept the advertising. Elon didn't want to bring Alex Jones back because he didn't want to lose advertisers. Advertisers pull out and he goes, screw it.
There
Alex,
is
you're back.
nothing more dangerous than a man with nothing left to lose. I'm not saying Elon Musk has nothing left to lose. He had nothing left to lose when it came to advertising.
I suppose it's fair to say there's nothing more dangerous than the wealthiest man on the planet with nothing.
Yes, that's the ultimate version of that for sure.
Or who doesn't fear
Fears
loss.
no loss.
This is so crazy, man. The United States government, I think, has, I'm going to say it's just such a dumb, obviously, hubris. Like, it's not that powerful. I know it is probably the most powerful government on earth, but it's one of so many powerful governments. It's like, you can't, win everything to try and defend, our Venezuela, as well as the Ukraine, as well as Israel. Now you want to go after your richest citizen. Like, what the hell are you doing to yourself? I want it to be good. I want it to be a force of good on earth.
I think Elon is also...
We're a little ways off of being a force of good on earth.
What kind of drugs are you smoking if you think, oh,
He's
this
saying
can't be
all
good?
of it.
All right,
He's saying
it can't be good. That's
Never
never been good. It's always horrible. It's always bad. But I think Elon is banking on a major election shift. Because if, let's just say, a Republican gets into the executive office, he's going to make sure all of these investigations go away. But if Joe Biden is elected, these investigations will continue, and they will try to topple and destroy the only platform that allows people to talk freely to each other and expose the psyops as the psyops happen. Twitter is the place you go to get on the ground breaking news coverage of events that happen now, and what better way to call out the next psyop, the next kind of major event, the next big Pearl Harbor-like event than, of course, be on social media and you see it called out right there in real time. So I think he's understanding that there's going to be a big political shift. He's banking on the Republicans. The Republicans probably will win, and then he's going to...
These dudes, man.
No, there is still a lot of fear.
You know we're in Mercury Record, Jay.
Twitter X as an app, and that is a major issue.
Google can too.
And absolutely, all these things, and that's where it is too big to fail, quote unquote. And correct.
Functionally, but Apple would never do it because people would fix their iPhones.
A lot of people would. Iowa, you would.
I mean,
We still can't get Republicans to vote in primaries, so I don't know how far they're willing to go to fight for this.
This one,
100%.
because screen time for X is so high.
Huge, yeah.
It's not a question of I'm going to take a stand. It's a question of oh man, what did they say? I got to get this.
Yeah.
It's not even a
Or
question.
just use the red version or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
If Apple removed
it'll
X,
hurt traffic.
and you could, it would. But a lot of people would be like,
Yeah.
"Yo, I'm on this app 24/7. WTF, mate?"
Yeah. I'm like ruin my life. I'm going to watch it all day long on Twitter just to teach the government a lesson around
This is why they made Threads. They were hoping people would switch, but they will
No
not.
one cared.
Well, this is why there's even talks of Elon creating his own phone. And if he does, then, of course, when Apple...
But then it's
bans it,
networks.
everyone's going to go there.
But then it's networks. What networks are those phones going to operate?
T-Mobile.
Verizon.
Probably. T-Mobile works for everybody. They're like, screw it, Cricket. Like, let's make it happen.
Yeah, and
Starlink.
Yeah, but Cricket.
But he has Starlink too, so he could merge his phone with Starlink.
He can't now, but he could. That would be the ultimate. That would
Exactly.
give us true. That's where we're headed.
I
That would be
think
incredible.
Starlink would have the capabilities of. I'd imagine a phone could get a megabit per second through Starlink, a low orbit. I mean, the Starlink.
You have to expand it greatly.
No,
Starlink.
no, I don't think so. The current Starlink modules are small, are very small.
No, I'm saying you have to expand capacity where they're at.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
have to have more of it out there, is what I'm saying, for it to have connectivity.
I wonder what its current load what they could handle. But I texting. Texting, no question.
Yeah.
Starlink could easily handle text messages.
What would the delay? I mean, these are questions I don't expect.
No, it's low latency. It's like 35 milliseconds.
Oh, that's good.
That was the point of Starlink.
Yeah.
Satellite phones. That's definitely the future. Terrestrial phones.
35 milliseconds.
These landlines are going to be just blown up by a meteor strike. I mean, the ones up in orbit. Yeah, they're way safer in orbit, I think.
Apple already has a feature where you can connect to a satellite in case of emergency.
Yes.
When you have no cell phone signal. So
Yeah, and for 10 years plus, now they're a two-way satellite texting device.
You know, Elon's got that in mind. He's trying to merge all these things into one X unit, like the starships, the satellites, the phones, the social media. What else? The tunnels are going to be in shape. Big X underground. You're going to go through big X's. Just get the body circle.
So when he's talking about the 25 milliseconds, when you're putting trades in, when you're doing stock orders and that kind of stuff, cryptocurrencies, if you all you have to do is make a bot that shadows, it will copy like more successful people's trades, put it in milliseconds before yours, and then claim copyright.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Actually, it's like a little sled thing. His
Yeah.
final product is a sled thing. You drive the car on the sled thing, and that automates the whole process. So it's all running on its own rails. You don't have to worry about driving.
I would not want to go on one of those.
Yes, yeah, neither would I.
But if you live
Yeah.
in LA and you have to face traffic, you might want to.
Who's building it?
Traffic in LA is nuts, dude. One day I spent 3 hours in traffic going like 10 miles.
What's
17
the
miles.
fear of going in the tunnel? You're going to get stuck in the middle of it, or is that little thing's just going to shoot you right on the other side? Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah, I can't find.
Real rough. What's their ventilation in that thing? I mean, I don't even like the tunnel, like the Lincoln Tunnel.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm worried about it. I drove through it hundreds of times. It's like those long, super narrow compressed tunnels.
I was talking to someone about this with buildings, skyscrapers. We're going to come a time. We have a crisis of competency coming. We're already kind of there, but we're really going to be there in 20 to 30 years. Crisis of competency. And I'm worried about people building skyscrapers today. What's going to happen to those skyscrapers in 30 to 40 years? Because go meet the average person that's doing things anywhere in America these days. And it's going to get me concerned about being on the 100th floor of a building built by these people.
You can try and today right now and see that happening in real time. You can see the buildings that are falling because people are skirting around these little like building codes, et cetera. You know, and it's going to be.
They just don't care about a loss of life over there. It's a little different, but I think it's like more of a they have probably, or they do have more competency when it comes to engineering and those kind of things than we have. And I think that they do. I think in 30 years.
Don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart. I just don't think you'd understand. Don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart. It might blow up and kill this man.
On Twitter, what do you guys think?
No. And in this case, Trump's going to get elected, and then he's going to say, thank you, Elon, and Elon's going to reap the rewards.
Yep. And he's going to say, "Oh, all these investigations."
I mean, but the bullshit. Get elected for
I
what?
think Elon is playing also a different kind of gambit as well when it comes to the defense contractors, when it comes to the carbon emissions, when it comes to all the ties that he has to the military-industrial complex and to the defensive capabilities that he's giving Ukraine and Israel and the United States and Antarctica right now. So I believe that's one of the reasons why he is still not officially kind of taken out, officially stopped, because I think I'll reach him.
Someone needs to ask Elon about Werner von Braun.
What's the book called?
What is it, like Mars Colony or something? I don't know. But it's where the colony of Mars, the government, has the person in charge is called Elon.
Oh, yeah.
And it was written in 1948, before he was born.
That's wild. I wonder if May knew that and named Elon and then told him, like, you'll do a colony.
That's what I was
on Mars.
saying, like,
Yeah,
you must
yeah.
colonize Mars. And he was like, yes, Father.
Like they told Jesus, your father is God. And he was like,
I'm like-
okay.
Well, I think he ran off for a little
Like,
while.
He went, but it was 14 years.
Yeah.
I would have judged him his blessing. Oh, Elon? No, Elon.
No, we let Jesus up there, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's coming this day when we got back. He's like, I was just doing my work.
And then sometimes the forest calls you. You just gotta go east.
Well, it's actually hanging out with villagers, but
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's like Siddhartha. He just disappeared from his life as a prince and went to hang out with the commoners for him. And then he became the Buddha later in life.
yeah.
I want to know this. Okay.
Yes.
We're colonizing
yes, there.
Mars. How are we going to do it? Is it going to be corporatocracy? Yeah. Where this whole world is headed is corporatocracy under corporations.
So that's why the fascinating thing about Werner von Braun's book, we were talking about it last week, is that He says the person in charge is called the Elon. And I'm like, imagine what happens with SpaceX's Mars colonization project. Elon Musk is the boss. He's in charge. He controls the finances and the resources. So when people are on Mars, they're going to say, hey, what are we doing with this new shipment of cargo? Ask Elon. You're going to say, okay. Elon's going to get older and older and older. Eventually he's going to say, I'm too old to keep doing this. And then he's going to pass on. And some guy's going to be like, Elon passed. Who's in charge now? Well, the next guy we have is Bill. Now, we need someone who's going to be the next Elon Musk. Who's going to be our Elon Musk? So it's going to be like, I think Rick would be a good Elon. And that's how Elon turns from a name into a title.
Or it could be an AI that we call Elon. That we just kind of, as a thanks.
I don't have to live on Mars. It just seems...
Even in tunnels?
You don't have to.
Yeah, no.
But people who are born there are going to love it.
You're going to love it?
Yeah.
In the little tunnel?
Yeah, is that why?
Yes. So it's all self-made.
Maybe I'm a beach kind of guy, to be honest. I hope
Yeah, but they'll have
keep such things cool here.
Subterranean
Beaches.
domes.
Yeah.
There's nuclear silos you can live in that have fake beaches. Yep. It's crazy.
Mars
It's
has
like a big cylindrical thing with like 16 floors, and one of the floors has like this big curved fake beach.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's like
sun, like a good
fake sun,
You
yeah.
can't tan with fake sun.
No.
Mars has like flood striations on the surface all over the planet. Not all, but all.
The gravitation is too weak though, so it struggles to maintain an atmosphere.
Yeah, the core is still liquid. It's just got an outer layer of, I think, nickel that's blocking the magnetic field right now. It's messing with the field. It's like 2020 Science article about it.
I think
It's fun to talk about this type of stuff, but
in
well,
the span of several decades, it crashed.
see, he owns Tesla. He's inserted himself as Tesla. It's just a phone call. It's just a face, just FaceTime.
Mars trench tear.
That is Elon Musk. Tim is Elon Musk. Elon Musk can get the specs. He's like 6'4" and all this like stuff. But no, it's Tim. It's Tim Full.
Came out of it and just spewed all of it.
Because he's too important to like let the world know.
Global flood catastrophe, and then it just evaporated, and then the iron oxide in the magma fell back down to the surface as dust, and now it's coated the surface as this red iron rust, and underneath it is all this ice. And so, if we can heat it up rapidly, I got faith that it'll come back to life.
Why would you want that?
Elon
Is
said,
graphene going to play a role?
Why would you want that?
Elon said to nuke the poles, which I thought was an interesting concept.
What the fuck are you? This is China. This is China. They're just cannibals. They don't want to work. They don't want to control themselves. They can't read or write really good. They fake their test scores.
An artificial atmosphere.
It's a Han peasant farmer. It's a Han peasant farmer.
But it's trying the whole planet.
Yeah, it'd be a lattice network.
Right.
They're
with like
dumb.
magnetic fields and stuff like that, and then redirecting heat. Like you hit lasers into
They're probably the black people, but not quite.
Oh yeah, you could create.
But they're their best friends, and they don't want to live with them.
That's the future.
Suitable habitat.
And it's like a stage 0.01 Dyson.
Yeah, he's not gonna help you. You're gonna have to friggin' take his hands.
Yeah, once you have
He'll be radioing calls to his Wakanda. Oh, he loves it.
All working
I mean,
in
come on.
synergy, building these horrifically large structures in space because gravity is not in space isn't. It doesn't matter how big it is. You just have 300 trillion drones working together to construct it really quick. And you can put these little arms and like laser cutters and stuff and really moving things into position.
Yeah, the future's going to be wild.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we're all here to see it.
It's going to be exactly
Well, are you
Idiocracy.
lifting weights? Because that's going to be the key to your longevity.
Okay, I lifted weights today. I love it. What did I ask for? I did arms, I did shoulders and pecs and biceps 2 days in a row, which might have been a mistake.
So back in a previous life, before we all died, Ruby, who lived underneath, who lived in the apartment underneath me, just loved. She was always looking for a real man to take care of her.
We have all this.
Took out Adam's apple and everything just so she could please men.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be bright, but it's like
I used to watch all kinds of men sneaking around the corner. See, Ruby here, the trans woman, she used to work at the Hyatt where DAs and loved working because she made friends with so many high-ranking politicians.
We got to be able to do do something to preserve these people.
Well, the mass die-off is happening now.
called obesity.
The population is declining, and IQs are going down too. So there's that.
All right, everybody, we're going to go to Super Chats. So if you haven't already, would you kindly smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, share the show with your friends, head over to tipcast.com, click Join Us if you want to hang out for the uncensored members-only show that's coming up at 10 p.m. But also, head over to thebestsongever.com. Pre-order our collective FU, the music industry. We teamed up with the Daily Wire covering Jeremy Boring and Michael Moses' song Together Again. Their song was an FU to the music industry. Our song is basically a mockery of the music industry. And I think the song is good, but when you pre-order the song, we're going crazy. Guess what? You pre-order at thebestsongever.com, and you will receive a code. I believe you'll get it on the 15th with the song. You will get 35% off your castbrew.com purchases. So if you want coffee, for 69 cents you buy the song, you'll get a unique promo code that gives you 35% off. And if you subscribe with that code, you will get 35% off your subscription indefinitely. See, so for those that want to get the coffee club, it's $40 a month. Use this promo code, you will get 35% off your membership forever.
And I know you're selling out the code, but the song itself is worth 69 cents.
Yeah, how did the 69
It's pure coincidence.
So it was originally 99 cents.
Okay.
And there were people who were like, well, we think we could sell more of our new releases from lesser known artists if it was cheaper. And there were some other artists who were like, we're super famous, we can sell for whatever we want. So they do $129, $99, and $69. We sell for $69 because we want sales. We're less like we're in that argument of like, hey, we're not an established large band. We're trying to sell as many as possible. Let's make it as cheap as possible. We're fine.
I think you can also spend as much as you want.
No, you can buy one song.
But you can't spend more. You can spend more than
choose to
60.
give or you want to work. Right. How about you make yourself you can buy more than one? No. So it's like pay what you will. You can give more than 69 cents if you want.
I love it. I love these. They're using government money. They have government cards. They're funded by. Yeah, this is the power.
You know, music industry mockery, and that would be like the main goal. If we sell 500,000, Michael Gold, Jeremy Boring, Tim Pool, and Carter Banks will all get a gold record. I don't know.
devastating to the music industry. Absolutely devastating. I want to be a part of that devastation.
Look, we wrote songs, and it's just music. Not everybody likes it. Every band, it's fine. You don't have to like our music. But when they emailed us saying go F yourselves, I was just like, I get it. The way the music industry is working right now is they are trying to remove the capability of new bands from entering without their approval.
I just talked with Dickie Bear about it. It's been like this since the 80s. It's been like this all along.
You have to bend the knee and kiss the pinky ring if you want access. And now that we're building networks outside of their control, they're getting angry and telling us to F off.
It used to be who decided what got played on the radio.
Our first song, they didn't even track like
What radio station?
of the plays. They went, oops, sorry, too bad. And that knocked us down. We ended up being like number one in like digital sales, and we charted on a bunch of different like rock and alternative charts, and we would have probably been number one in a lot of different charts, but they accidentally said, oh man, this one didn't count. And then we had to raise a stink about it. Talking to Tom McDonald, he's talked a lot about how they've just rejected his sales because they're desperately trying to prevent anybody from getting into their space without their say-so. So, I don't think we're going to sell 500,000 of these things, but I believe the Daily Wire is going to help in pushing as well. But it would be the greatest thing ever to have a gold record.
Yeah, but
You should put it in a movie, in a Daily Wire movie.
I'll talk to him about it.
That's a good idea.
Jeremy
Gold
and I were
records.
in the video. We put the commercial up at Timcast Music on YouTube, and you can see they de-aged themselves and made a fake video from the 60s. It's fun. We're going to have fun. But let's read some super chats first. All right. Token Black Guy says, first. Congratulations. You are first. Tom Forsyth says, being first is for losers. Clever. Cleverly done, because you are second, in fact. This. Token then asks, hey Tim, long-time listener, any future plans to come down south possibly? I'm a Louisiana native, and you have a lot of followers down here. Maybe we can find a time to do a show in Nolens.
I've never been either. I'd love to go.
Nolan's in an economic collapse, huh? Yeah.
I've been around in St. Louis once.
James G says, Seth, any updates on the Trump cans of your beer? Not upset about any delays, just curious as to the new time frame for them to ship.
yeah, so the Trump beer, we ended up selling a lot more than we originally expected, which is a good thing.
Like millions of dollars, right?
Yes, I think round 2 on the Trump beer, yeah. A little insane. So, a little unexpected, but that is a great thing. We appreciate people being patient. So those have started going out. It's in order of people who ordered. It was originally a 45 day delay from the order to when it gets shipped. That has been extended. Check your spam. So Big Tech does not like us very much. So we've sent out updates on this to people who have ordered the Trump beer, and for whatever magical reason, our order updates go to spam, which is not how that's supposed to work. So please do that, and be patient. It is on the way.
See, one of the things you're looking at is who pays for karaoke. You know when you sing a song. Remember the IRA? Remember Recording Artists of America. What are they called?
That's the point. We want to do the Cast Brew coffee shops so that y'all are meeting up and hanging out in person. A space where you can hang out, talk about things, have the debates, have the conversations, play board games, whatever it may be. We want to. This is the game plan, man. Why are we doing this music? Why are we doing coffee? Imagine, as I've said it a million times, for those that don't know, you walk into a coffee shop, they got 2 TVs on the walls, left and right, and as you're waiting for your coffee, it's Steven Crowder. It's Daily Wire, it's Timcast, it's Viva Fry, it's Fix X and Hammer. And regular people who are not listening to these accurate reports and commentary will one day be like, oh, this is pretty good. Who is this? And they're like, oh, that's Steven Crowder. And they go, oh, yeah, never heard of him. New subscriber. And the idea is 1,000 locations. So we want to just pop in these coffee shops up all over the place where people can hang out, and also regular people will be exposed to our media.
Interesting if on the screen while
Yeah.
people are playing, there's a barcode.
Yeah,
Scan
your-
videos.
We can put a QR code. I mean, everybody makes fun of CNN because they have the airport news network. But think about how powerful that was for them. They were everywhere, hotel lobbies. I want to take that. So you'll have a strip mall with a Walmart in it, and there will be a small Cast Brew standalone in the middle, and people will be like, I just want coffee, I don't know anything about it. Oh, coffee, sure. You walk in, and then you've got Timcast Styro playing. Or you've got Stick, Sex, and Hammer talking.
Also,
And
you can
then-
Bluetooth into the
Sounds
There's
like
8 different shows playing.
it's not 8 different shows, it's one show at a time. So there will be 5 TVs all playing the same episode of Love of Trump. And then regular people will be like sipping their coffee and they'll be standing there.
I was thinking about directed sound technology. I don't know if you can have it.
Yes. So there could be like a seating area where if you sit down, you hear everything really well, and if you get up, it gets a little fuzzier and cooperative. It's relatively easy to do. Yeah, you can do like sound cancellation. It's expensive to engineer that stuff. Alright. Nasty Mullet says, great culture war episode last Friday. Eschatology is fascinating, but accepting Jesus as your savior is the most important thing. Anyways, help remove a tumor from my dog's mouth. Go fund me. Sandy Boy's dentist surgery. Good luck, sir. Good luck to Sandy.
Same as the dog.
Yeah, the parody said, not that I don't trust you in the first place, Tim, but yesterday when PvP said there's going to be a cyber attack, my need to prep items. Yeah, that's a part of that movie, Leave the World Behind.
That's what they were discussing. Yeah.
There's like a guy in as a prepper, and they're like, hey, go to the prepper and take your stuff. I gotta tell you, man, if you are prepping, and anybody knows you're prepping, when it all hits the fan, you are the boss. So,
Everyone's like, I'm coming to your house.
and either you're joking or not.
What is prepping? I know nothing of this.
What? You don't know about spirit cooking, you don't know about cooking? What is it? Serving dad? Serving, you gotta get down the rabbit hole. What are you doing, bro?
He just doesn't know anything about it.
I've lost all my guns.
Do you know what the Bohemian Ground is?
Look, all my guns were lost
Bilderberg Group.
in a boating accident, and I don't know what prepping is. Stay away. That's all I know.
Say, Ursavite says, you keep saying Texas didn't want to secede but was forced to because of geography. Wrong. Texas booted San Francisco because of opposed secession. Texas wanted it. Texas was just as angry. Well, I'll clarify. I'm not saying they didn't want to secede, but they were forced to. I'm saying geography was a principal reason for why they wanted to secede. The Confederacy was next to them. That were their trade partners in the immediate, and they said, this makes the most sense. There you go. I think that was part of Ulysses S. Grant wrote about that. The Emperor's Champion says, I say offer Bud Light clemency, and the moment they do something woke and stupid, boycott them and show these companies what happens when they get woke. Busy says, your thoughts on Matt Walsh's take on your Bud Light stance. Also, have you read the Jaff memo in regards to ways to control population? Seems like it's all come to pass. I have not, and we did address the Matt Walsh segment. I do think what my perspective is based on owning a business and doing marketing and having done marketing consistently for like 15 to 5 years or longer. And what I
this
see
is
with Bud
fun.
Light is there's going to come a point where they say, this market is closed to us. How can we increase sales? And they're going to target other political market spaces. If conservatives,
I mean, they know what I look
they
like.
can ever do to win us back, they'll say, fine, and we'll try to win some other people over who are more.
Anyway,
That could result in them saying,
I think they just
mastering online marketing. Mitch Meyerson, founder of Gorilla Marketing Coaching, with Mary UL Scarborough.
could be spending on UFC, we'll go to
Business roadblock number 2: lack of clearly articulated goals. Did you know that the very act of identifying and writing down your goals substantially increases your chance of becoming successful? If so, you may be surprised to learn that, in my experience, most entrepreneurs do not articulate their goals, define the action steps required to achieve a given goal, or track and measure their progress. Why do you want another coffee shop? Why? Oh, because you have to afford to buy cars. Because he has cars, he has toys. Oh, he impresses people. People are like, oh my goodness, Tim Pool, you're so successful. How do you do this? Well, he robs people. He defrauds them. He does identity fraud. He does all sorts of things. He sees a good business idea and boredom there. Cup of Noodles boredom. This is Cup of Noodles boredom, Jeff. You remember Cup of Noodles?
I hear from these people.
Oh yeah, and also counterfeit bills. A lot of people like
That's what I'm hearing.
yeah, a lot of people who don't know what money feels like, who don't understand these things, who don't understand what is it, embossing, raising. Oh, there are so many words that go in for how to do it. Where so a blind person can tell the dollars apart. A blind person can.
I never said I would.
But Tim just prints out his North Korean Monopoly money and hands it out.
sees the narrative from them.
You see a little bag, you see those stacks of hundreds? Those are friggin' printer papers. They just print out Monopoly papers.
I would point out how Dana looked like a goofball, laughing and smiling and telling people to drink gallons of alcohol. I'm like, what?
For sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's super fake.
But the fact that people won't boycott UFC, and I gotta tell you, this show does not have the influence to even consider that.
Did the UFC make Tim mad? UFC must have made Tim mad. Yeah, but yeah, the boycott orders.
UFC will never be boycotted. And people will make up excuses for why they shouldn't have to boycott UFC. They're going to say, oh, it's a false equivalence. I mean, UFC isn't doing the same thing. Aligning with a foreign corporation that pushed trans ideology on children, you're saying UFC is in the clear? Okay, have a nice day.
No, I agree in that sense. Like, you can't get Republicans to vote in Republican primaries.
Yeah, Scott Presler can.
He's done an incredible job, which is why we think about it.
Yeah. How many jobs? How many? See, it's not like 17 random jobs. It's 17 highly important jobs.
Scott Presler's organization too.
I have some old prescriptions, and I thought, oh, this is so much better than like the ones we have, because the ones we have one doctor scribble. Where these ones, they had like kind of nice signatures. If I was looking, it's the same signature all four. It's like there's supposed to be five supervisors, but it's just one guy pretending to be all the things.
Something that someone handed you out of the back of their van unsolicited. Did it say free candy on the side? Wait,
It said puppies.
it did.
The THC.
So the dude from ZenJoy was actually, I believe, doing a delivery to a local
Yeah.
a local market,
Yeah.
and he was talking with the owners about the product drop off, and he was like, "Yeah, I've got some if you want it."
Did he know you guys?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah, he recognized me and was like, "Oh man, did you try some?"
I'll be honest, that stuff's delicious and I want another one.
Okay,
Should I not drink too many of them? Is that okay? We'll do the ashwagandha.
the lavender one.
Yeah,
I'm taking a break from ashwagandha.
like your
People should take breaks.
like a month at a time kind of thing.
No, I would eat longer than that. I take a break for like 6 months to a year.
This one is also from Lemon Fall.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about a dude who was dropping off product to a store, and then I took some of the like a case of the product that he was bringing to the store.
That would have been pretty well planned if this was the moment to take out the Timcast.
Oh, I like the honey. They use honey too. That's cool.
Yeah,
It goes good in the Spindrift, which is also a drink that I
I
like.
just respect the hustle. Man.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
employee is his drink, and
Hey,
he was working really hard, working on the back of his
Awesome.
van. It's the American spirit.
I tell you the
Yeah.
alchemy of this. If you have Spindrift or some other delicious
Yeah.
sparkling water with real fruit juice, and you add another drink to it, like a kombucha or perhaps a ZenJoy, it's a nice
But he
experience.
said, and this is what got me. He was like, he wanted to help first responders, firefighters, police officers relax because it's a very stressful job, and he goes and he gives them out to them for free. And then I was like, oh, you sold me, easy, definitely, we'll shout. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Cool stuff. But really, all that matters, the dude was on the hustle.
I'm drinking organic urban Monte. This stuff is everywhere. I mean, it's pretty good, but it's not that great.
A bunch of them. They're good.
It's like people come back, oh, I discovered something new. We gotta get this product all over the
Do
world.
it. Now we're gonna look into it.
Everybody in the world. If we sell 1 billion of these, I get 10 cents a bottle, and a billion. 10 cents times a billion. Wait, no, I need $1 per a billion of these drinks, and $1's mine.
3 months, good to say 1 month just to be safe.
But you're not a medical professional, so it's just all right.
Yeah, they don't want to be equal. This is a group that doesn't want to be equal with people.
Ultra right beer.
Don't want to get this wrong. 135, I believe.
That's why none of them smoke. Yeah, they may be popping pills and shit. They may be putting they may be doing ayahuasca, friggin' enemas up their ass. They may be doing all this kind of stuff. But you know what? As long as they're not seen being weak.
And I should have the cards in front of me. I'd have to dig through my email and find that.
There's probably like 17 or something. I don't
I don't remember exactly what it is. I'm not gonna say something wrong. People lose their mind.
Is there any fluoride in there? Most beers have a lot of fluoride.
Yeah.
No. Oh, are you sure about that? The water comes out of Florida. We have to talk about the sample stuff.
Is it tap water?
No, but, okay, so it's heated and boiled to a point where he's gonna
It's distilled water.
he's gonna have a problem with any freaking thing I say.
I'm taking notes right now.
It's distilled water?
It's heated, so I guess that would be considered. So if it's heated and boiled, something is distilled.
I put these
No, distillers if it boils and then recondenses. If it just boils it, you'll kill some bacteria and stuff.
Oh, I
It
see.
doesn't really, we won't remove fluoride. You need like silver filters to get out fluoride out of the
Now,
water.
reverse
Silver filters
Something like
like
that.
that. Seriously?
Reverse osmosis.
It's
Yeah.
not easy, but it's pretty cool.
It
You
might
can see
be
like an unfluoridated version
Yeah.
has
Maybe
33
you
times
can
the
work
price or something.
on some kind of like health alternative together.
I'm actually open to this. So there's some things that we are working on that I can't say right now on air, but I will.
Yeah, segregation was the way.
I have a good idea. I know what I want to do.
Let's talk about it off air.
It's
Let's talk about it off air.
It's something healthy.
But
I think.
And don't give them cars.
Yeah, so let's partner. Maybe.
Yes,
Let's do something.
Yeah, they don't deserve cars. They want to get up here.
Beer juice with
They're already getting to the bus. They already have people like, yeah, come on, Black Army, get on the bus. Let's go to the suburbs and turn these women out. They won't have sex with me. I mean, they won't have sex with you guys.
Really good.
Liver,
They discontinued it. The liver smoothie at Arwan. They partnered with Paul Saladino. Really good.
How like Paul
Let's
Saladino?
talk about it. Let's do the Luke Grodowski beef liver smoothie.
If you can move space on a can, dude, I'm so in.
My nose won't fit. My nose won't.
Faust says, just bought $70 sample of packs from Zenjoy to bring to work. GG, this product's for the boys. Boys.
It's really good. The lavender, you can really taste the lavender. It's spectacular.
Lavender's not good for your testosterone.
Well, just having a little bit.
Doc Holliday says,
All that work in the gym.
Doc Holliday says, 1 year ago, Luke said he will never vote for Trump.
Ah,
I don't think I said that.
let him live. It's okay.
I think we should be critical. I think we should hold everyone's feet to the fire. I don't know exactly what I said. Please show me what I said, and then I'll be more able to, of course, react to it. But everyone deserves to be critical.
Kay Abel says, Luke, who did you vote for in 2020?
Trump.
You voted for Trump in 2020. Yeah, see what you're talking about. Yeah. Doc Holliday says, $20 for Tim calling Luke out and exposing his Trump.
I'm voting for Trump. I'm voting for Trump.
J-Rob says, Tim, did you happen to see the video of the former FBI agent warning Vivek to be very careful, implying that someone might try to harm him? I saw it. I don't know. What are you supposed to think about that?
I believe.
What was that video of the actual?
It's a guy who met him and was like, be careful. Okay,
That's reasonable for anybody running for president.
dark days. I'd like to know the scenario the movie came up with that Texas and California would be united.
That's how they get you to watch the movie.
Right.
It's smart.
No, that's how Tim gets you to watch the movie.
No.
The secret
He's been a salesman all along.
Like it takes people to speak up, like the VA and Elon, it takes people to speak up, but it takes people to build the systems quietly as well. Because if you're always just pushing people up into the front of the line, like those are the most vulnerable, as well as the bravest. So there's a lot of engineers and things that are building decentralized systems that can back up the wants of these people for freedom.
Alright, Willie Nates is pre-ordered on iTunes and Amazon. Usually wouldn't do that, but I wanted to inflict that middle finger to the music industry. Cheers, fellas. Yeah, so just to quickly reiterate again, the original idea was a song called Is This What You Want? And it was supposed to serve as this like cheesy song where it's like, is this what you want, girl? and it's like just like club synth pop.
What you need? Oh, my voice is
Yeah, just really bad.
Uh-huh.
And the real point was that the "Is this what you want?" question was the insult to the music industry. Like, is this what you want from us? Is this what we have to do? And so you will stop insulting us. And then when I saw it together again for the Daily Wire, I was like, no. We're going to do a modern... It's like in the style of The Weeknd. Like, we're basically... The whole thing is a parody of Blinding Lights.
Delightful one in chat if you want to see me, Tim, and Carter do Is This What You Want? Then the style of Backstreet Boys.
Well, no, not Backstreet Boys. That's old school.
Wait a second.
That's old school. Why would I want to do oldies? We want to do more like Post Malone.
Can you do a heavy metal one in the future? I feel like that was
Heavy metal doesn't have it. So in the future. I mean, sure. I mean, we've got heavier rock songs. A lot of the stuff we were putting out is just like basic rock.
Right.
And they tell us to screw off and rock ourselves. So we're like, let's make modern synth pop as an FU to them. And we'll team up with the Daily Wire with their FU, combine them.
This is probably the funniest thing
It's more
I've...
of an inside joke. The song doesn't directly say FU or anything like that. We're just doing it to get...
Let me tell you about the time that I was at my cousin's house and the reality twisted. You see, my cousins were dying, and they were good musicians. The music to me is just backyard at a barbecue. Not really letting you know, just like, yeah, some of them sound like they're covering hits and stuff, but it's just backyard barbecue. It was for you, it was just hanging out. And Faith Hill and Tim McGraw. Faith Hill, she's been blacked. That was like the thing. They had like the most stable, wonderful marriage, and it crushed a lot of white people, a lot of white kids who like grew up idolizing them. Tim McGraw replaced him. So I know what Tim McGraw looks like. And then one day I'm looking at this album, and his nose is all flat. It's like that doesn't look like Tim McGraw. That looks like a Korean karaoke singer. Just replace themselves on album covers and everything. Like he's saying, people will forget. People will forget, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is a real one."
Gamed the system. That's what they won't say. No, I understand.
You're fucking they're bugmen. They're worthless fucking bugs. Bugs are more valuable to nature than these things. These things.
Buy the song or listen to the song. If you listen to the song one time, that's great. If you buy the song, it's equivalent to 150 plays.
Ooh,
That's why purchasing
wow.
is powerful. And a lot of big artists struggle to get any sales at all. Like the big artists obviously are getting like 200,000 sales on their albums when they release them. But the average artist, even like, look, you name a mid-level band you've heard of that's playing big festivals, even potentially headlining, and they're not getting sales at all.
Yeah.
They're getting put in rotation by labels. The plays that they get, like when you look at the charts, you're like, how did that artist I've never heard of hit the Billboard 100?
Because
the label that owns the rights to the music goes to the streaming platforms and says, if you want top artists, you must put lower artists in rotation. Rotation guarantees they'll hit the charts. And that's how people find music. These big industries tell us to screw off, and they will not. I mean, look, we release a song. We're number one on iTunes worldwide. We're number one in digital sales, and we are not appearing anywhere on any of these platforms or stations in terms of their trending or anything. Even on YouTube, they weren't properly categorizing us, and the tracking said our video didn't qualify.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah, this is horrendous.
He's talked about it quite a bit. He puts a song out and gets 5 million hits in a week, and they're like, nope, you don't chart. They're just basically trying to stonewall. I'm like, let's just flip them off and make it undeniable. They cannot win this one. We're going to win this one.
I love that. Yeah, we got to get it to play globally, overseas. That's where the markets, because it's American markets, like, just if it's in
So what happened was, what was that one song that was like on the charts for months? What was it? Sunroof? Yeah, I think it was called Sunroof. And that's what we were like, this is it. This is what the industry wants. And we'll put out, and we'll go international. So let's make some, like...
it's the poisoned Lucky Strikes again.
And then just blast it with marketing.
Yeah.
I can see Carter in Germany.
Oh yeah, well, I've noticed that by checking different products. Have you ever saw the first Batman? They put in the recombinations of these chemicals that when you mix them together, they kill you.
Instead of Bud Light giving money to UFC, the boycott stops and they donate to the families of the victims of the Nashville shooting.
This is Bugman. This man knows more about drugs. See, he doesn't need to graduate high school. He was already selling drugs.
So that would be
he graduated high school and just hung out.
Saying, it's what's the next move? If the argument, as Ian has pointed out, is that they're fleeing the battlefield, you can't just stand there. Now we have to say, what's phase 2 in the We Are Mad at Pokemon?
Shoot him in the back as they leave.
That's
Of a
probably
route.
it.
It just depends on what you want to do.
Well, right, but what does that mean? What does that literally mean? Does it mean?
Yeah,
does it
Tim's
mean-
21 Jump Street. If you don't know, look it up.
Does it mean demanding?
He thinks he's original, or he watches stuff and people don't remember.
I don't know. I don't know what it means. Does it mean going to bars and telling them to boycott Bud Light?
It's like, do you want to hurt their sales further, or are you satisfied with this dip so that they don't do it again in the future?
It's a pretty solid dip. I think most people will be satisfied with that long term.
Come April, the sales are going to normalize.
The sales are not going to normalize.
No, sales are normalized already.
They normalized to the new low.
Yes, 6 months, 7 months ago they did.
I understand. That's not normalized for what they did for decades.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it does. It means
The
less
industry-
revenue.
It means every
I
mainstream.
understand
It
from
means
the-
Ian's mom is going to say, "But the boycott didn't work."
Okay.
And you're the beer guy is going to say, "No,
Calling you
no,
out, Becky.
no." Listen, I'm telling you this. I guarantee it because Ian's told us the story over and over again, and I think Ian would agree. When the New York Times, MSNBC, and CNN report Bud Light sales have jumped to plus 2% and their stock is higher than ever, Ian's mom.
That's
is
just
gonna-
admitting we're going to admit defeat on every lying narrative that the left-wing media sends at us.
No, I'm saying,
That's
what's the
literally what
next
that means.
move to counter this?
It's
Ian,
to argue that, no, they're still down
If your mom watched
20%.
on, that doesn't mean anything to Ian's mom.
Well, I don't care about Ian's mom. No, that's your mom.
She's pretty badass.
lovely.
How do
she does listen to
I take it
reason.
back.
How
I
do you
don't
win a
care about
culture
mom.
war if you don't care about regular Americans?
No, I didn't say I didn't care about regular
A
Americans.
regular American is
You're
gonna
telling me that
watch
all she
CNN.
does is watch CNN and MSNBC.
And so, how do we win the narrative? How do we win the culture war? We need to take people who are right now the narrative needs to be indistinguishable, unequivocally. Everyone goes, "Wow, Bud Light, they're done."
And you think you're going to win the narrative with Sean Strickland or any of these other alternatives?
Bud Light needs to make a statement. You need either you say right now we won, or you double down.
But,
It's going to do
but
nothing.
you think we saying we won here at Timcast is somehow going to get dispersed among MSNBC and CNN? They're going to say, well, they won.
Yes.
Timcast claimed it.
Yes, I do.
I feel like
See, the issue is you're acting
No
like
way.
I'm the only one saying it. No, I'm saying I
I'm
agree
not
with Kid Rock.
saying you're the only one
Kid
saying
Rock
it.
comes out and says, we...
No, but no one buys it from Kid Rock or Dana
Then
because they all say
conservatives
they
lost.
took off
You lost.
105.
You lose.
They always
You
freaking lose because most conservatives
Then don't try.
last name of them start
Then stop
thinking
trying.
this is why. I'm not going to ever stop trying, and that's why our company's giving $150,000 this year, which is nothing.
So what's
because we
phase
care
two?
about?
What's phase two?
Phase 2 is continue holding the line.
That means do nothing. Bud Light
If nothing means stop buying a product.
They already
for
stopped
30
buying.
No, but
They already stopped.
for 30 years. in a
People
lot of
already
cases.
stopped buying. Now what are they doing?
You could
Then
consider
you
it a
win.
fortification
Then you
tactic.
win.
So we've taken
Yeah.
the line, they've fled, now we've fortified this area that we wanted.
What I'm telling you is that come April, Bud Light is going to stage
They're going to make
another
a
frontal
claim.
assault.
They're not going to do any assault. You think they're going to come out the Dylan Mulvaney ad?
No, I'm telling you, the media is going to report in April the boycott lost, and people like Ian's mom are going to hear that and tell you it doesn't work. They're going to go to the marketing departments at their companies and their tech outlets and say boycotts don't
And
work.
do you
And
think
they're gonna
Bud Light's going to say, we won this so
It
much, we're
doesn't-
coming out with a Dylan
Yes.
Mulvaney ad too?
Well, that's not what I said.
Well, I'm asking. That's what I'm asking.
Now,
Do you
now,
think
now
if-
let's,
if
let's
they
actually
won,
argue what I was saying.
That's what I'm trying to argue.
Now let's argue what I'm actually saying.
Which is what?
When CNN, the New York Times, MSNBC, and all these big media outlets that we are constantly battling with over narrative control report to the average American the boycott failed. Their stock is back above where it
Their
was.
stock's already back.
Exactly. And then they
So you
and
declare
then,
victory now?
And then they're going to say, and yes, you declare victory now because they
While the
just
stock's already back?
because it came back because they gave us what we wanted. Then
You can't. They happened 2 days ago, or whatever the hell it was. You can't say the stock didn't just come back in the last 2
the
days.
stock came back in November.
Before this happened,
Before what happened?
the whole
The
data.
UFC thing was November. The stock started to rebound.
Within the last week, you're saying?
No. The stock rebounded in November, around the time the UFC deal was announced.
Around the time or before or after?
I mean, if you want to track day by day, you can go look
Well,
at it.
that's what we'd have to do to make the
So,
argument.
the narrative is going to be, among average people who are working for big companies, conservatives can't hold a boycott. This is going to happen, and I'm asking you what your plan is.
I think that...
I won't even tell you what to do. By all means, don't buy Bud Light. I'm asking you, what is your plan?
Again, I think if you go back, if you're going to say the plan is that if they are still down 20-something% in April, and so the media's going to come out and
In April, they're going to say we're up 2%.
I understand. From being just like we've had to do with the
Nobody
economy
knows
and
that.
everything else. No one knows that unless we're rather push it. But I'm just not going to not tell the truth because I'm afraid
No one ever said don't do that. That's not the
Okay,
argument.
I'm just going to make it this
The
way.
argument is,
I love your
what is the plan for the media's play in April? They will do this. What's your strategy?
The strategy is to give the opposite narrative, or to give the truth to what that is. I'm not saying the truth always wins. It doesn't always win.
Right.
But I'm going to fight for the truth going forward.
For the record,
that's our deal.
my
That's our
mom
company.
in this
And see,
metaphor.
that's not even that right. I don't disagree. The point is, what is the strategy for competing against a widespread media narrative, especially in the beer industry? We're going to see the beer trekking companies that report.
What kind of crack do they find on the ground? Oh, you have to buy it because that makes them powerful. Oh, Wakanda's secret is its oil. Wakanda's secret is its oil.
What does that do with what I said?
You're down 30-something% right now. If you're only down 20-something%.
If you want to drive your car, you've got to do everything they say. They know that you will now pay. Blah, blah, blah.
Money that they're giving back to these big distributors.
So we want the message to be for all corporations: if you support Dylan Mulvaney, you will lose money.
Which would be exactly what that happened.
Except come April, their stocks recovered and their sales are in growth.
A 0.02% sales growth is not
I
enough
said
to
2%, but we're making up any number. But it doesn't matter. Stocks recovered and the company is growing. They're going to say the boycott's over.
You cannot say the company. You can play word games to say it's growing when you're still 25% less than you were a year before.
No, in April, year over
A
year,
year and a half before.
in April, year over year, they will see growth. That's the point.
You can make the number growth, but you're still down 25% from what you've been for decades.
But that's not the point. The point is,
Well, no, that's a big point.
the point is, we want to win a culture war, not a beer war.
I
The beer
agree.
is a component of the war. It's a
Agreed.
single battle. If they run this narrative, what's the plan?
So you're just saying, so we have to always fight, be on defense for any lie.
No, I'm
mainstream
saying-
media wants to make up
I'm
themselves.
saying, what's your offensive strategy?
Again, the truth.
But that's not. You're saying words. What are you going to do?
You're saying all they're going to say is words.
The media is going to match
they're going to
report.
imply-
Beer sales numbers are up, and they're going
They're not going to be able to say that beer sales numbers are up.
Yes, they are. Fact.
Over year.
Yes, fact.
Okay, so we got wiped out a year ago, and we've come back this month.
Which means that
That does not take a lot to argue that.
And so you're going to see
So
across the
they're gonna-
board, conservative boycott fails, Bud Light's in growth. They're going to have the spokesperson come out and they're going to say, we can see after a long time our
Because
interest.
everyone's going to be silent, and no one's going to respond to that and say, hey, by the way, they're still down 25%.
Is anyone going to boycott UFC? Is anyone going to call out Dana White? Is anyone going to call out Kid Rock?
Conversation.
No, I'm saying who's going to speak up?
Well, I'll speak up until guys when I can.
But my point is this: there has to be a strategy. And right now, the only strategy people has in all of the chat is, I will do nothing. As if
And that will destroy a brand, as it has. They're already diverting hundreds of millions of dollars of advertising outside of the Bud Light
Yeah,
brand.
beer.
They're giving it to other companies within their organization, obviously.
right, so then we need to declare victory.
I think it's already a victory. Yeah, I'm not
So
going
the
to
narrative
that.
needs to be, we won. Have a nice day. That's my point. What's the plan? The plan is either we say we win or we go on the offensive.
No, I think we say we won, and we continue the boycott.
Sure. And that's
So
why
you just continue marching. You don't pursue the route. You just settle the area, and then you continue the march, which is the boycott.
I mean, I don't know about this analogy, but
The analogy is you win the battle, they flee. You can either chase them down by boycotting all of their brands, or you could
Yeah,
hold the
no
line
one's
and
gonna
then
do that.
continue the march, which is holding the boycott.
Well, this
So,
is
like, rather than taking
Oh.
the here, which is a retreat, you
Right.
just
Because-
continue the march. You do not follow the
what
line.
said.
Correct. That's a option. Where are you marching to? Now it's just getting weird.
Pressed.
I feel like the end result of this is
Oh,
the impact of the Bud Light thing. It was over as of like June. The sales that were gone were gone. Nothing else happened after that. Just narrative stuff. Just periodically being like, oh wow, some guy got fired, someone resigned. Since then, nothing has really happened. And so we can be like, we did it, but there needs to be a like this is why
I think we
this is
absolutely.
why
I
I
think
think with
we're
Kid Rock.
talking over each other a little bit. I absolutely believe we claimed victory.
And this is why Kid Rock said, we did it, guys. We gave him the black eye.
But the difference
we're
is
good.
they're going out and saying, go buy it again.
Dana White is.
That's, I'm sorry.
Kid Rock was
I don't know
a
what
bit
he-
more placid and just like, look, we gave him the black eye, they deserved it. We got what we wanted out of it.
Okay.
And so with Kid Rock saying that, as the guy who opened fire on the Bud Light, which really created the viral moment, which led to a widespread boycott, you can now say, ha ha ha, we win when we boycott, we get what we want.
Right.
Terrify all the other companies and say, we'll get exactly what we want from the process.
But I think if you let $105 million say, hey, we're going to start buying it all again, I think you lose it real quick.
Well, let's say
They always just pay them off.
That Dana White needs to be publicly called out by everyone at every point.
Agreed.
All right, we got to go to the members of
Let
the
me say
show.
this about my mom because we used her as
I'm
an
sorry,
excuse.
Mom. I love you,
It's
Mom.
very clear. As the normie perspective, they see the news, they believe what they see. But she's also intelligent enough that if you explain they're down 25% from 10 years and they're going to save 2% to make it look like they're growing, she'll understand immediately that that's bull crap. Right? She'll.
And my point is, I want the guy who works at, Wonder Bread to be like, oh man, if we do these campaigns, we're going to lose a lot of money. If the narrative inverts because everyone just stops and does nothing and says nothing, they're going to say, oh, but didn't that thing fizzle out? I just saw on CNN they said that their sales are up and their stock is at an all-time high.
We'll have to look for articles when they claim revenue increase and call it out.
And already their stock is completely recovered.
And then we can do the numbers on top of what they were 2 years ago.
I gotta be honest.
2% down 27%.
Oh,
So
yeah. No, I'm not playing your fucking game, Google.
Yeah, in early November it jumped from 55 to 65 in like half a month. I guess.
Oh, because see, Google hired a from Harvard a retarded rapper who like rapped in bad English. This for his A+ thesis, and then got hired to be the head of Google. The head of Google is a retarded freaking monkey.
Visit conservativedad.com. Get the Conservative Dad's Real Women American calendar.
Oh, look, yeah. He's a sexist.
Formerly known as Twitter.
Thank you so much for coming on. We'll start that conversation on fluoride very soon. But thank you so much for coming on. It was awesome. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/wearechange. I've been working really hard on that YouTube channel.
Is
I do
this
lives, I do
their-
shorts? I do videos. There's 20 plus years of videos on there. Click the channel and click most popular. Be prepared to be surprised. Today's video was on the dark history of Harvard. I'm sure close to 1 million subscribers would be cool to have. Subscribe to youtube.com/wearechange.
I'm Ian Crossland, and I apologize for the grainy voice. I was therapeutically screaming Pearl Jam 10 the other night doing a release. Oh, it felt so good. I mean, it just really felt good. And speaking of musicians with grainy voices, I interviewed Dickie Barrett today from The Defiant. Fantastic human on my YouTube channel, X channel, things like that. So go subscribe to me all over the internet and check out that interview with Dickie. It was a lot of fun. I love you guys. Serge, take it away.
Yeah, you look to me some musicians with grainy voice. My voice. Kind of
So I'm looking at. Well,
But yeah.
why do I just not share it?
We will see you all at timcast.com. Thanks right now.
Yeah, he's got jump on off. There we go. And guess you want to know what his roommate was like? The roommate, yeah, I remember this. It's really sad. It is one of the most saddest things that I ever like. I used to like you, Boondocks, but you're not Boondock Saints. Let me listen in on like.
campaign, but it smells like shit.
Mayor Kennedy, I tanked a 45-year-old franchise. Oh, yeah? I tanked a 50-year-old franchise.
Yeah, it all says I'm going after the Bible.
Yeah, I didn't give a fan when.
So I'm looking at there's seven panelists,
When Jody came on.
all older than me. It looks like.
This has gone off the rails, and it's it's so. There's no point to it. I mean, there used to be a good story. There used to have good writing and actual plots and actual things. And now it's just this thing where it's all about geopolitical stuff that I'm sick of.
You know the funny thing is that when you look back at all of the episodes and all the seasons, and obviously some doctors were better than others, some seasons better than others. But when you get like Disney Plus, that's now putting this kind of money behind it now. I mean, how many seasons and how many versions, iterations of the Doctor where we didn't care about the production value of the stories we were watching? We were, you know what I'm saying, DC? It's like we put up with the most ridiculous. I would say put up with we watched the most ridiculous
That's all.
stories I'm sorry, no, we watched these great stories, but we didn't care about that there was oftentimes ridiculous special effects.
Sure.
Because we loved that doctor, or we wanted to see what was happening, and the season had something new, or we saw new, something else was introduced, and we didn't care that it didn't look like 2001: A Space Odyssey, or Star Trek even, or any of that. We didn't care. I mean, I didn't. Did you? Not really.
No.
And now that we got Disney money behind this thing, you would think that like now we can not only get good stories, but get all of that other filler that we never got before. You know, the top end practical effects, the top end graphics and CGI, the best of the best, adding to stories that move us forward and fix this crap that we just put up with a few years ago. I mean, it's not that hard. Honest to God, I think the five of us, literally on this panel, we could probably writer's room this thing on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Seriously.
I've never even seen it, and I could probably do it.
Yes, you probably could.
And you know, the only good news that's going to come of this is guess what? Disney spent money on the
That's my hope.
Well, I
That
mean,
really is my hope. It's
the writers
There's a reason why that we can watch these episodes in the 70s, you know, and have such, you know, terrible special effects. And it's because it's kind of like being able to listen to a radio play and be engrossed in the radio play. It's theater of the mind that has visuals. But ultimately, our mind is filling in the blanks. And the sad part of it is that these generations now don't have the mental strength to fill in any blank. They don't have the imagination. They're lazy. They're mentally lazy. And they can't look and see the beauty of a Ray Harryhausen, you know, Julie the Skeletons, and, you know, Jason's and the Argonauts. Because to them it looks spanky because they don't have any imagination. They don't have the ability to pretend, to play make-believe. And that's sad. You know?
Yeah, that they're not well read, where they can go back to other elements of literal plot concepts and pull from that. I mean, it's sad and it's awful.
It is.
Doctor Who survived primarily on its charm. It had a lot of charm into it, and especially in the 70s, Tom Baker had bucket loads in that. But also, even with the cheap production values and whatnot, the power of the stories and the performances that those actors could do to bring those characters to life, it supercharged your imagination. And if you were in that world, you understood it. I always go back to Dennis in the Valley, which my humble opinion is the greatest Doctor Who story of all time. And yet it's done on the cheap, you know, and yet through the clever use of lighting and angles of shots and whatnot, it's like this whole world, this whole thing is going on. And all of that. But it's also just the power of the people into their characters, and they brought them to life, and you were captivated by it. And it stayed with you. You know. And there's none of that. There's none of that here. It's like I said, the second one gives you a small little fraction of what could have been. And it just makes it even worse. Because it's just tormenting you. You know, if we really tried, we could have been it.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Yes, exactly.
So, Mrs. Receive, we're done. Goodbye.
no.
And fuck you.
Well, thank you, movies. So cool, Harry, though. I get those people together.
Wow. We're so
Line of the night.
This is why we watch Pop Culture Breakdown, ladies and gentlemen. That joke in Douglas's just last statement, his summary statement, we could do better. We don't because we hate you. Pretty much sums it all up. And, I don't know what else to say about this goddamn disgrace, except I call upon all good Indians once again to steer clear of this fucking shit and send them a goddamn message that you will not accept substandard swill administered correctly. Fuck you. You know, just fuck them. I am so goddamn, I cannot even express how goddamn
Yeah.
all of this. They know better. They just don't give a shit. Like
I wonder what happened.
Don't fix it because they hate you. And they hate our civilization. They hate our history. They hate our race. They hate our sex. They just are haters. Don't subject yourself to that fucking hate. That's all I got to fucking say about that. Let's go
Angel
ahead.
Moroni.
Let's get to some more of these super chats, and then let's get to something that we actually love. A movie
March
that's a
19th.
timeless classic.
March 18. See, do you believe in signs? Not science,
Need
signs.
some positivity. Need a little Christmas right this very minute.
Angel Moroni. What happened?
This point, Bob Iger might as well be hiding nukes and Metal Gear Rex underneath the theme park. After all, what else hasn't Disney hidden? I think that's a pretty good point, Vito Soros, and I thank you for it, sir. And thank you for being a channel member as well. Stained Revenant with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Stained Revenant. Says, unfortunately for Disney, Bob's a very talented bingo player when it comes to fraud. His audit card is looking very promising. Hashtag, dang it, Bob rides again. Thank you, Stained Revenant. Hail to you, Stained Revenant. I appreciate that, as you said. And Angry Yeti TV with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Angry One. Says, I'd like to coin a new phrase. JPEG mate. For when someone fucks up as bad as Disney and gets caught. That is
That's that's basketball.
No, we have checkmate, but not JPEG mate, which I think is kind of brilliant when you get right down to it. Thank you, Angry Yeti TV, for the donation and for the new phrase. Joe Mama with a $5 super chat. My mama? No, Joe Mama. It's what you said. No, I didn't. Joe Mama with a $5.
So I'm on another computer looking up the Cougar basketball. You see, BYU is very interesting. They can't be racist. They don't want to be racist. They have honor codes. They don't have any sex. They don't drink alcohol. BYU, they have all these things that they said they won't do. And 21 men's basketball, Westminster. Was it November 25th? Because March Madness. March 18th, March 20th.
I don't know the ins and outs of the stock market or business.
Finkel Fieldhouse, Indianapolis.
I'm just speaking from
Tuesday, March 9th, in Arlene's Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Pop culture to their own IPs. It's like watching just cannibals just feast on themselves. You know, Stephen King wrote a story once about a doctor who gets crash landed from a plane smuggling a lot of heroin on an island. He's the only survivor, and he's a surgeon. And eventually, to live, what he does is he starts eating parts of his own body, things that he can spare, to try and prolong his life waiting for rescue. And he uses the drugs on the plane to anesthetize himself. Not unconscious, but just conscious enough where he can still cut his own foot off and then cook it. So that's what Disney is doing. But eventually, as the doctor in the story finds out, you run out of body parts. And I think that's the phase of Disney that we're in right now. This, of course, was back when Stephen King was a really, really good writer back in the day. Not these days. He's lost a lot. Lover of Green. Obviously, somebody who doesn't work at Disney if they're a lover of green. With a $20 super chat. Thank you, Lover of Green. Says, hail, Pop Culture Breakdown. Will you guys cover the Percy Jackson TV series? The OG foot arc.
Yeah, so he's talking about, I remember this, Stephen King, well, yeah, his son became a writer. And yet, well, like, I was thinking of hiring a person on Craigslist who would write a book for $4,000. This is where paternity is an issue. I've only grown up with one dad. And the suffering he did to try to feed us.
Fully abandoning his characters. He is race swapping. He is doing all this stuff to get made.
Yeah, they all are.
For a franchise or a series that was created.
Yeah, Idris Elba.
His son who has dyslexia is trying to feel like, hey, it's a strength and things like that. I think he's fully figured out. I have no interest in it whatsoever.
Okay, well, there
Mark
you go.
Tell.
From an authority on this, he's read the books, he knows the backstory, lover of green, so it looks bad, my friend. It does not look like a One Piece, which is the most brilliant
And not for them.
I've seen in a long while. Although the current season of Fargo is really fucking good. If you haven't watched that, if you like the original Fargo movie, you'll probably enjoy this season of Fargo. Casey Asowski has been an arch villain of mine for 43 months. God bless you, Casey. Love you, buddy. He says, "Hey, all. Thanks for 43 of the best months I've ever had. You're the best." God bless you, Casey. We're very, very happy that you are friends of ours, and we love you, man. God bless you, Casey. And Casey Asowski gifted 5 Overlord DVD memberships to this channel. What a great guy. Thank you, Casey. You are awesome. And Jack White with a $5 super chat. 2 $5 super chats, actually. Thank you, Jack,
Yeah.
for both of those. Jack White says, Reacher Season 2 starts airing the day after tomorrow. So that's very good news, folks. I enjoyed Reacher Season 1.
I cannot wait for season 2. I'm definitely going to be watching.
Yeah, me too. Looking really good. And he says, in new series recommendations, Gundam Wing, and G Gundam, and Berserk of Gluttony. Excellent, Jack White. Thank you, sir. He says, also, I own stuff digitally through iTunes, but I also make it a point to get them physically, and I've always bought games physically. Good job, Jack. That's the way to do it. You become kind of a pop culture curator when you do that. You know, when you've got a massive amount of, physical media. It's kind of like in Fahrenheit 451. Remember that they were burning all the books in Fahrenheit 451, and ultimately, books survived underground by people memorizing every single line and committing it to memory, and turning the literature of the page into oral tradition and not letting them die. Well, in a sense, having physical media and also the pirates out there are also kind of working as culture curators and preservationists. And it's sad that, Disney and these companies that are desecrating pop culture are turning these villains and pirates into potential heroes down the line. Isn't that amazing? That's just sad. But that's the fucking fact. We may only see an uncut splash through piracy someday,
I have mine.
Well, yeah, so, that's good. But to spread it, you have to disseminate it more widely in the event of a cultural emergency. They probably hate that, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, that's funny. That's hilarious and ironic because our entire industry is founded on piracy.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah, well, think about it. Edison had the rights to the camera, and anybody can get their own camera, and he had crews going around smashing it.
Oh, yeah.
So we're not even supposed to do
Right.
There you go.
That's true.
Well, the quote we like Mark.
Oh, dear. And Nosferatu as well. Bram Stoker's widow sued, Anthony Murnau in the production team that did Nosferatu, claiming it was a ripoff of Dracula. And damn near succeeded.
Blackula. Yeah, Blackula is you hear that? They stole this from Blackula in the 1970s.
You're lucky that a few survived, and now it's,
Now, I believe that there are black vampires. Look at that's the way you know something's fucking
the
evil.
greatest silent film masterpieces ever made. That thing's scary.
And then we run around killing white vampires. Isn't that the entire thing of CW?
Joe Mama with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Joe Mama. Says, to be fair, as someone who can both read and write cursive, it is a different language. God, I hate cursive. Well, I kind of like it now that it's a code that these monkeys can't read, I think that's awesome. It's a secret language now, and I love it. Robert Gibson with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Robert. Says, WDW Pro mentioned Disney illuminated a resort walkway that impacted U.S. service. Well, I'm not surprised. Anytime that Disney has a chance to do something right or something wrong, they'll generally opt for wrong. It's almost like a reflex, It's like a hammer of evil to the knee. It just makes you jerk in a certain way. They love it. They just love it. Samuel Frank with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Samuel. Says, I actually hate cursive. I have nerve damage in my arms and
Yeah, cursive are awesome.
Money math, just fine. Well, I'm sorry, Samuel. That sucks. I've done like cartooning and stuff, so I naturally write in block print, but I can't do cursive. But I probably will do more of it now that I know that there's a whole generation that have it as a lost art. So that makes you feel like part of an exclusive and better club. Iris Ramos with a $10 super chat. Hello, Iris. Iris is one of my new channel members. It's great to see you, Iris. And she says, Merry Christmas, gentlemen, everyone, snowman, tree. Really enjoying this show. Thank you. Be safe and stay well. Thank you, Iris Ramos. You as well. I hope to see you on Friday Night College, dear lady.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Iris. Thank you. Mr. House Party 6 with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Mr. House Party 6 says, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Oh, and you cockroach right. Damn right, Mr. House Party 6. Damn right, sir. Thank you. Casey Osowski with a $10 super chat. God bless you, Casey. Love you, man. Casey says, hail all. As my grandmother used to say, be careful what you do, because your choices can come back to bite you. I bet Mango can understand this now. Yeah. This is like Jar Jar Abrams lied about Khan. Mr. Mango perhaps was, shall we say, stretching the truth to some extent on some of his, probably Disney mandated statements.
Like Frank Marshall, who learned, don't get in bed with Catherine.
Oh God, I heard a story. Oh, no, I really did. I've abstained from reporting it because it would have compromised the source. Jesus Christ, holy shit! All right, some things I don't report everything, folks.
Man, we gotta get you obliterated drunk on one of these and then get it. You remember that story you were gonna share?
Oh man, holy shit. Dark Saber Force with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Dark Saber Force. Says, how much goodwill Tennant lost by agreeing to this? Total.
All of mine.
Total. All of it.
I was on Disco. Bill saying that I was excited for RTV to come back and for Tennant to come back, and I thought we had hope. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
Shit,
Yeah.
It's just like it's Patrick fucking
Yeah.
Stewart.
Yeah.
The card. I can't stand the sight of that motherfucker anymore.
Nope.
I will never watch another, modern era Doctor Who again. Maybe Eccleston, maybe. But Tennant's dead to me. I never was that crazy about Matt Smith. They squandered, Capaldi, like, appallingly. It's just a goddamn... Of course, I never watched Jodie. Just the first pilot. The first episode with Jodie's the only
That's
one
all
I
you
watched.
saw of her?
That's all I watched of her.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't even see all of it because I fell asleep about 30 minutes into it.
Oh, you missed it.
She was making a special, curve for her comfort sonic screwdriver. And the next thing I knew, she was on a girder finding some guy with a bunch of eyes. I was like, okay, well, this obviously isn't made for me. So,
Yeah. I mean, Capaldi had maybe one or two episodes that were actually well written, but he got posed with a bad writing.
Oh yeah. To me, Capaldi could have been one of the greatest doctors of all time. He could have been a very dark, majestic, kind of scary doctor, like we haven't really seen before. Mostly the doctors, he can be fusty, he can be weird, but not imperious and a little dark and a little bit scary. Kind of like Morpheus was portrayed in Sandman in the comics. If any of you read the comics, you know what I'm talking about, where he was very capricious, he could do weird shit just at the drop of a hat. He was a very scary alien kind of presence. Capaldi could have been that. He could have been like, if the Grand Moff Tarkin was a doctor, because he's got that scary thing. I mean, as Malcolm on The Thick of It, the guy can be fucking intimidating as shit. But, Joe Lamont with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Joe. Says, if the glove fits, you must convict. And hashtag do cockler right. Yeah. Oh, he did. Old man told he did. To a T. No doubt about it. An epic night of me, Sir Knight. You've been an arch villain of mine for 30 months and a dear friend. Thank you, epic night of me, Sir Knight. Says, hail my lord, and you checked out the Fall Guy. You know what? I know you sent me the trailer. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. Have any of you guys seen the trailer for the new Fall Guy?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I don't know. It's kind of sad that this Gosling guy is like the new Butch Mail, you know. But I mean, I guess that's who we have now. I don't know, but I like the show a lot. I used to watch it when I was a kid. It's it just I don't know why.
Yeah.
Well, feel the excitement and the passion.
Sorry, I'm trying to be positive, but I just it was
Fires in your loins.
I'm just sick and tired of every fucking remake. What is the point?
I don't know how to beat the original series anyway, because I love the original series.
Yeah, Lee Majors is awesome in that. He sang the original Fall Guy song too.
Yeah, I know a lot of these old stunt guys that,
Oh, man.
on that show, the Fall Guy, and that's a very tight-knit community, and,
Oh,
it
right.
ends up being like the, the shot tower version of it or something, all this stuff.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. Believe me, I agree. I can't whip up any enthusiasm for fucking it. It's hard.
You can't think you're selling it. Nick Ryan Gosling was very macho.
Yeah, no. I mean, okay, so he's alright playing, Rod Eve, Carl Atreides, and, dude is all supposed to be, a wee teenage boy or something, so he, he plays that well, but, what's next for him, it's just, I don't know.
We had talked about the new Doom trailer next week.
Oh yeah, we should actually. We should talk about that. We're gonna finish this week, but I'm looking forward to Doom too. But we'll see how it plays out. Just a few more. SHS Rebels 08 with a $3.99 super sticker of a pair giving a toast. God bless you, SHS Rebels 08. You are awesome. And Joe Lamont with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Joe. Says, I wonder if DC is being modest and actually knows Maestro Williams. And the Maestro was validating DC from afar and saying FK to Mark Scott. Hail DC. I can neither confirm nor deny that, Joe Lamont. I can neither confirm nor deny it. And, Buzzy Jones. I gotta read this. Buzzy Jones with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Buzzy. Says Indy 5 is not canon, and per super chat. Thank you very much, Buzzy Jones. I am deeply honored to have received that first super chat. All right, then, it's time for some positivity here, folks. It is time for some positivity. Let's talk about a movie. It's a Wonderful Life is, pound for pound, maybe the greatest holiday movie ever made. This thing is just a timeless classic. And it's not just a Christmas movie. I mean, it spans a long period of time. But of course, it kind of climaxes at Christmas. And so it's always remembered really as a Christmas movie. And this is one that never gets old for me. Anytime I see it on, halfway through, I'm flipping a cable channels around and I come across it halfway through. It's one of those movies I have to stop and watch. Jimmy Stewart was really a revelation to me in this movie. A lot of the Hollywood movie stars of the time were basically movie stars, not actors. You know, they had a persona. They just played themselves over and over and over again. They never stretched. You know, and Jimmy Stewart in this goes from, you know, exuberant highs to suicidal lows in a really, really incredibly believable way. This guy was a hell of a damn actor, and I was deeply impressed when I saw him. He's also in Vertigo. He's extremely good in Vertigo. His intensity, you know, he's kind of like Tom Hanks to an extent. Tom Hanks is, you know, everybody's buddy, and, you know, he's a funny guy on SNL, and he always plays these gee-whiz nice guys, except a few times in his career when he didn't. And it's only then that you can really see what a good actor Tom Hanks is. Well, that goes in spades for Jimmy Stewart. This cast is amazing. The photography is beautiful. It's a genuinely emotional film. God, I mean, I feel like it must be a long film. I don't remember specifically, but I know that it just takes this guy through so much of his life and his relationship with that beautiful Donna Reed. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Pound for pound, this is a brilliant movie, but the scene where, I mean, hopefully it's not too soon for spoilers. The scene where he's lost everything and he goes home and all the kids are running around. It's Christmas Eve and, you know, his wife and all this joy is going around him and he just looks like he's about to die and he wants to die. I mean, that's some of the best acting by a Hollywood actor I've ever seen in my life. And it just is the beating heart and soul of this movie is Jimmy Stewart, and I'm delighted to be able to talk about it tonight. Gary, what do you know about this movie?
I learned quite a bit. Yeah, this is. I didn't think I was going to find much on this movie, but there's a lot of material out there. All right, It's a Wonderful Life. Frank Capra's personal favorite of all of his films, produced on a $3 billion budget, eventually grossing over $8
Anyway.
worldwide. Nominated for 6 Academy Awards.
So agreed, great stuff. Both Star Trek and Twilight Zone. The story's so well told. They hooked you in just 10 minutes time. Can't say that off this current crap. So I don't watch TV anyway. Yeah, well, you know what?
In March of 1924, Stern sold the story to RKO Pictures for $10,000, intending to make the film with Cary Grant as the man. After several attempts at a screenplay adaptation, the story sat on a shelf at RKO for years until director Frank Capra discovered it. He bought it as well as the 3 scripts that RKO had produced for $10,000. So they bought it. RKO bought it for $10,000, and Frank Capra bought it from them for $10,000.
That's cool.
Yes.
Capra had a motto: one man, one film. He took the best parts from his newly purchased scripts, changed the title, and began to implement his own film. Although he did hire Francis Goodrich, Albert Hackett, and Joe Swirling to write his version of the screenplay, it was Capra's sword, his singular vision, his passion, and his direction that made It's a Wonderful Life truly a Frank Capra film. Both Capra and Stewart were let's see. Well, okay, I'll just So, both Capra and Stewart enlisted in the United States Army a few years before this film was made, and they served. I guess they joined the U.S. Army Air Corps, and they were not drafted. They chose to enlist, and they didn't want Stewart to be serving on any actual bombing missions. However, he insisted. And the combo was great for both people. In fact, they both came back completely different people. There was one story where Jimmy Stewart was actually on a bombing run in B-24, which was one of the worst bombers to fly in World War II, and the aircraft had taken so much flak and tore off the bottom of the fuselage of the aircraft. Jimmy Stewart said that he could look down, see his feet, and love his feet for Germany.
Wow.
So, really, the trauma had affected, let's see, both men were unsure of their abilities after such a dramatic event in their lives.
Yes, that's amazing.
It is. It's really incredible. James Stewart was Capra's first choice for George Bailey. The actor was known for.
Oh man, I have. See, I can see the mic going up and down.
Darker side. Through that all-American goodness in him.
Yeah, that's what makes it so fun on social media, because it is. If you've seen the Black Mirror episode where they have an amusement park and they chase that woman down and she like wakes up and turns out she's living the day after day after day. He said that her and her boyfriend did these horrible things. You see, I've been at houses. I've had these like pre-programming. You know, the set. Oh yeah, they told me they said it was Colombians. Do you know who killed Nicole Richie in Kato Kalin? It was Colombians. That's what you go around telling. See, they don't actually do it. See, even though you know they do it.
Despair and anger stem from PTSD after harrowing bombing missions over Europe. I can believe that.
Yeah, they get tricked into killing their own people.
If you watch his other films,
Yeah, the migrant invasion.
Gee whiz, nice guy. But this is the movie.
Yeah.
Like again, you were saying earlier, where that dynamic range hunter is really up and high, and then he gets really down low. I mean, even if he was in family. Jean Arthur was chosen by Capra to play Mary Bailey, who had worked with Bill Capra and Stewart on 2 previous films, but turned down the role due to a prior commitment on Broadway. Capra then decided on an unknown actress that was on contract with MGM by the name of Donna Reed. A double was hired to throw the rock at the abandoned mansion. However, Reed, being
Yeah. See, this is all of Hollywood. All of Hollywood is there to make us not notice them.
During the famous kiss scene between Stewart and Reed, Stewart begged Capra to delay the shot as long as he could. He felt he was rusty due to being away from the camera for so long. Capra was determined not to let Stewart back out of the shot and restaged it so that Stewart and Reed had to get extremely close and share the phone.
Oh, that was a great scene.
It is really good. And
Man.
again, Stewart was telling Capra, I don't know if I can do this because, I'm a little rusty. I haven't been in front of the camera for so long. And then he put him right next to Donna Reed. And that scene's amazing. It's just, that's...
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could tell, her boyfriend that introduced us, that they're not, that they're having to acknowledge that they're in love.
Exactly.
And it's just getting more and more intense. I mean, I can't believe how good that scene is.
Yeah.
The acting is superb.
It is. It's top notch. Alternate casting choices by Capra were WC.
So the problem is this piece of shit at my work named Dan Rammer, who just never answered the phone, never work or do anything from Georgia, from Athens, Georgia. Yeah, just a Hindu immigrant. Well, he told me that I have to be gay. Yeah, Dan Rammer, the Hindus, the genital takers, the Dalits, the untouchables. Yeah, this is coming all because of sex. All because men want to have sex, but that's okay. This is going to be friggin' awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Many of the 75 buildings were accessible and real and spanned 4 acres on the ranch. It was, at the time, the largest movie set ever built. Some say it was William Friedkin during The Exorcist that came up with the idea of building a set in a cold storage freezer in order to see the actor's icy breath. That's not true. It was Frank Capra who did this first, the idea of being employed on this very breath.
Wow.
Hollywood's original answer to snow in California was cornflakes spray painted white. Although the look may have been accurate, the horrid crunching sound when stepped upon made the sound recordings unusable. Bedford Falls was covered in snow using 3,000 tons of shaved ice, 600 tons of gypsum and plaster, and 6,000 gallons of foamade, which if you don't know what foamade is, I think it was what used to be in the fire extinguishers. So the fire department comes to spray all this stuff down. The cold winter scenes were shot during one of the worst heat waves in Los Angeles in the summer of 1946. The film's single Academy Award win was for technical achievement in creative snow.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Nominated for
Yeah, it's time to read it.
Nominated Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor.
Time for me to go see him and watch.
I wonder what the fuck movie was Best Picture against this.
I don't know. Capra's positive outlook earned his film the nickname of Capra Quote. Apparently, the original screenplay was rather nasty and would have proven quite shocking to audiences had our saviors at the MPAA not censored certain words and phrases from the script, such as nuts to you, impotent, lousy, and jerk.
Yeah.
The film opened up in New York.
Yeah,
I feel. It was not edited. It was soon forgotten about after its black market. The film had a loss for RKO at $525. Capra claimed he received many letters over the years supporting the film. However, most of them were to complain about the fact that despite that all ends well in the movie, Mr. Potter did not face justice for his misdeeds. I didn't even think about that.
He did on SNL though. They fixed it.
Okay.
Remember that?
I don't remember.
You don't remember that skit where Dana Carvey's playing George Clooney?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Mr. Potter, he had the money all the time. Well, we gotta just sit here, and then all the villagers like get pitchforks and torches, and they go and John Lowe's.
Yeah.
And they grab him, pull him down, they're kicking him down.
Okay, so then it was.
Yeah.
This film was under investigation by the FBI as being potential communist propaganda. How about that? My final note:
Communist.
clerical error at NTA. The film failed to renew its copyright in 1974. This led to many television stations airing the film frequently, especially during the holiday season. Although the film itself was in the public domain, eventually royalties were paid by broadcasters due to the fact that the original short story on which it was based did have a proper copyright,
Yeah, this is.
and the film was legally considered a derivative work from the story. Multiple VHS releases during the 80s and 90s, which were sold in the public domain without royalties were seized and destroyed in the indictment finally issued in 1993. Very, very interesting. And yeah, this movie is great. It's kind of it's a little bit, the Christmas Carol meets the Twilight Zone. I remember thinking several Twilight Zone episodes that were almost like a carbon copy of this movie.
Yeah.
It is long. It's about 2 hours 10 minutes, but it's good. And if you guys haven't seen this movie, this is just one of those important movies that you have to see. You may love it, you may not like it, but you should see it. It's a great piece of American cinema. The performance is fantastic. When actors were really craftsmen. And then obviously the circumstances of Capra and Stewart facing World War II and literally coming back to the movie right after they came back.
Oh, I mean that's.
It all kind of comes through in the performance. That's it, guys.
It really is, and you kind of stole what I was going to say, which was that this really could have doubled as a feature-length episode of the Twilight Zone. All you needed was Rod Serling's intro and exit, and it would have been absolutely perfect, even in black and white. The eerie elements of it, I think it's astonishing. And by the way, it's been pointed out in the chat, thanks to Sean Carter and the Restart Point and others, who said that the best years of our lives won Best Picture in 1947.
Yeah.
Which is not remembered in the same way, not at all. Robert Wright, what do you think about this movie?
I love this movie. I watch it every year, usually while wrapping Christmas presents. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. First off, I would say that watch the black and white. The black and white is so much better than the colorized version. You get more out of it. We used to tease how Ted Turner used to colorize all his movies, and we said that the colorized version was It's a Great Life, and It's a Wonderful Life is really the black and white version. Also, pick it up on physical media, because you never know what they might do to it. I mean, this is a wonderful movie to have on Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah.
You actually get, with this copy, you get a little bit of Tom Bosley narrating the making of it, which has some interesting facts about the movie.
Yeah.
So,
I don't have it on. I don't have it at all. That's,
yeah, get it
Tom
on
Bosley got a lot of
Oh wow. Yeah, he did a great job. I love this movie. The other thing about this movie that you don't see is a lot of the bit actors are really fantastic in it. And these old movies, start watching them and you'll pick up on subtle things. Like there's a scene where the blonde girl Violet walks across the street, and there's one guy that's looking at her that gets honked at because he almost gets hit by the car. And you've got Bert and Ernie, Bert the cop, and Ernie the cab driver, which, by the way, that's where they got the names for Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street. So he's going to take George home, and he asks Bert the cop if he wants to ride in his cab, and Bert goes, "No, I got to go."
Oh, yeah. I like this. I like this. Bollywood's amazing.
That are in there, of humor and different types of things that are in this movie. But, I love the main story of this movie. If you haven't seen it, and it's a real pick-me-up movie because it goes through everything, but at the very end, the messaging is so great about friendship, about love, about belief, and just about hope. And it's actually, it's a real hopeful movie. It's a positive movie, and that's what Frank Capra is known for is his positivity. And it's something that I think if you watch it, if you're feeling kind of down, it's a movie that can possibly lift your spirits, and that's what I highly recommend about it.
interesting. Thank you, Robert Wright. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Mexican Iron Man, what do you think?
I think.
This is one of my book-in favorite Christmas movies. This one, and then the modern day iteration of Family Man with Nicolas Cage. It's essentially the same story, but with a different modernized twist. And this movie is just my two favorite scenes are the Lasso of the Moon. I think it's just indicative of being an incredibly hopeless romantic. Which, despite my dang it Bob and ranting self, I unbelievably Mexican Iron Man is not a YouTuber, but he can be a bit of a romantic. And I think that that's one of the most romantic scenes I've ever seen in cinema, where he wants to lasso the moon. My other second favorite scene is the pool scene with the dancing. Which I just found, I mean, I'm mesmerized by that.
I've heard the same.
That's a real mic, and that's the Beverly Hills mic.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, and it still operates to this day. Right?
Wow. Those are my two favorite scenes, and I agree with what Robert says that this movie has so many ups and downs about everything: business, life, personal, everything. Dreams of seeing the world. All of these things come crashing down, and yet you still at the end of the day have a wonderful life. And I think that's an important message for us in the country today.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I also, as my regular viewers,
it's not gruesome.
Test, I am very much a romantic at heart, and that's why I love all those old love songs and musicals and stuff like that. And that's why I sing them. So we're brothers in that way as well, Mike. Now we go to the cynic here, Douglas Nelson, aka Mr. Nelson. What do you think about this?
It's all right. Now, it is one of the best Christmas movies ever made, and a great film overall. And it's true. It's you all hear about depression. It's hard for a lot of people, especially since
just the end of the year. A lot of times you get stuck and you're not so happy with where you are and that kind of thing. And this is a powerful message in that, you know, and that's where he is
Yeah.
in this film and
Yeah.
show, you know, how important, you know, he is to all these people and how things would have been different on that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So yeah, and I too, of course, always thought, well, this is a great Twilight
Yeah.
Zone episode. I know. And that's what Twilight Zone was, you know, inspired to a lot of stories of similar men in that vein. But he also Jimmy Stewart, he was just a movie star. He was a great actor. He had a lot of range to him. But I love the guy. John Wayne was a movie star. You know, I love him. But between the two, Jimmy Stewart is more of the actor there. And of course, it does come into play, obviously, the war experience for him to know what being broken, you know, really is. And he puts that in there. Because he's a young man in this film, but man, a lot of the scenes he looks very, very strong. And he had to be there in order to give the credibility of that moment. You know, the angel saved him, and all that. And so it's just a delightful film, and this is one of those where it would be akin to murder to do any kind of edits or what have you. Well, in this very time, I'm sure they would.
Yeah, of course they would.
There was a remake.
Of course.
Of
course.
Not a surprise.
Yeah,
Not
this was some
necessarily.
time ago. Yeah, and you know, it's like what. But anyway, yeah, it just can't brings it enough. There's a reason why it holds the position well there, and you do yourself a treat. And it's one of those that yes, you can watch it over and over.
You can quote me.
Never gets old. It's just a brilliant masterpiece, a great work, and it's got the best of time.
Yeah, it's funny, Doc, you know, I mean, it's the same thing with The Wizard of Oz. That,
Yes.
It was not a big success.
Right.
Which blows my mind. I can't understand that at all.
Yeah.
And yet, when they started airing it every year, we kids grew up on it, and came to treasure it as a part of the family almost, you know.
Right.
I heard one of the main reasons for its lack of success was they pushed the release forward to December of 46. It wasn't supposed to come out until, I think, between January and March of 47. But they realized it was such a holiday movie, they wanted to try to squeeze it in and get it in for the Academy Awards. And they said that there was a little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
But look, it stands to reason. History is the ultimate judge.
Yeah.
You know? So you can talk about your billion-dollar movies these days, but they're not going to be rewatched.
Yeah.
Vote for the Marvel.
No.
Yeah.
You actually have made a good one.
Yeah.
That's what Frank Cameron did.
Yeah, today they just have to make it like It's a Wonderful Ship.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I'm just. So I think. See, they my coworkers, they record us. The one day when I don't know if I can't remember which of the guys it was. They came and he said, "I'm going to put this on," because he put the cell phone down. He said, "I'm going to record these conversations." See, we get blamed for losing all the equipment. We're doing jobs that we're not supposed to do. Yeah, the integrated army and stuff's just over. And I think they like it that way because, well, things are getting stressful. You know, there's a lot of hunger in communities. There's a lot of freaking hunger. Well, they have to chase the livestock. If you have hunter-gatherers, if you're a hunter-gatherer and there's a desert, you just keep walking until you find forests and stuff to go hunt in. This is part of like the Bill Gates Corporation. It's a corporation. These corporations are just Yeah, it's kind of like the Homestead Act. It's like the Homestead Act. As I read, you don't even know that. I read the stuff that the legislatures are passing. It's like these are the laws now. No, but just cut it out. Cut it out. Just say most of the people in the United States don't read or write English anymore. The laws, well, when they move over and if things are already OMC, starting at bottom and doing several generations, like the patience of growing, no, they just kill. Growing up like this guy, like this guy who just, the story, I don't need to read it because I know basically more of the story. So once they get that thing on the island, what they're doing is they're getting their injections. They're getting performance enhancers, the adrenaline, like mixing it. That's the thing about Rapture. When the guy shows up in the underground, like utopian city, where they have all the plasmids and stuff. It's a battle between two oligarchs. Like the Rapture in this underground city, in this undersea city. It's the two guys are using other people. They divide up. It's Puma. If you understand some Germany stuff, there's a town, and these two brothers are shoe cobblers, and one made Puma, the Puma brand, and the other made Adidas. And the town's a loyalty because they have those are the two big jobs. The other jobs, you can say, I want to be a farmer, I want to be a farmer, I want to be a farmer. And yet, to be actually just sitting out, growing like squash and cabbages, spice is fun. I mean, spice is tasty. And if you saw the amount of garbage I have in this room, and when I mean garbage, I mean possessions, books. Like they say, burn books. These books, like how to make things. Why would you just be out in the jungle trying to reinvent stuff? It's already been invented. It was David Thoreau, who, like, a girl who really, really likes me. She has this energy, but there's an energy between us. It's like a very uncomfortable, but also it's. She wanted me to read this David Thoreau book, and I wanted to live in that city. And yet, accusing me, well, hey, how long ago? Yeah, I probably did. I did sexually harass somebody. What's that? What's a sexual harassment? Would you like to go out? Yeah, these women. Oh, he makes me uncomfortable, baby. The women, these men go and beat other men up for him. My brother Adam, he was crying. He was at the river. He heard there was a girl crying, and he sat down because we're crying. So he sat down with the crying girl at the river and kissed her. And then she said he had to go, so he was following her because they were making out at the river, both crying emotionally. And her boyfriend came out and punched him. If you ever saw that poll video, the guy trying to visit his stepkids, there's a fucking feral ape in a white beater comes out and he's like freaking, and then people are laughing because, oh, this is screen. No, it's a fucking ape. It's fucking King Kong. They're fucking monkeys. Murderous monkeys and intelligent monkeys. And maybe the woman does prefer it. But me and my buddies, me and my friends, we can't even hang out. I don't want to hang out with a woman. I don't want to hang out with women, but if the men start getting together, if other men start getting together, well, we might not want to support her monkey man. We might not want to support Kanye West. We might not want to support them. And boy, oh boy, if they lose all the people who work for them and give them food and make them into whatever they think they are, they want to wild out. They want to return to monkey and jungle. Is that racist? Tell me who I am and what my charges are. Because Department of Homeland Security, these actors, they're trying to frame up people. And boy, oh boy, I said bad things. all these people, they were playing March Madness. My coworkers were taking friggin' more money than I was making to do their jobs. We are supposed to have a lot of downtime. We're on-call technicians. And they're like, well, we can just double up his because he does work fast. I can do jobs. I've done jobs in 5 minutes. Like Dan Rammer, the damn Rammer. He was working 2 days on something that took me 5 minutes over the phone.